Welcome to my final part 4 video on how to create a virtual band. In this video I'll be showing you how I combine multiple videos of students performing into one video, and this will just be one scene, one small scene of my final video. So then I'll show you how I combine all those multiple scenes into one final show. The software I'll be primarily using is Adobe Premiere, but I'll also show you a little bit how I use Photoshop to include graphics and titles. This video series is sponsored by Ningenious Music, which is the greatest music education app out there. Your students will love it, and you'll love seeing the progress they make. So I've lined up the audio, edited some audio so that no one's too loud, and now I'm going to focus on the video part of it, okay? So let me take this middle line here, drag it down. We're going to focus on the audio or video. I want to see everyone's video up here, okay? I can make these a little smaller by going inside each one and just doing a double swipe up on my trackpad. That does this, okay. Now, how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 people here. So I need to go here and find a frame that has 5. I've got these mashup frames, which is all part of this package. So I've got, right now I have just one frame that has 5 people in it. So let's see if that works. I'm going to drop that over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this frame and drop it in above everybody over here. Would be good at the very beginning. So I'm going to drag this frame over. If I take the end of it, I make it longer. Okay. So right now the frame looks like this. There's 5 spaces. Okay. So we got to find a place for each of these people. Now Sabrina right now is on the top, but I need some extra working space here. So I'm going to take this frame thing and drag it up, two up, so we have some extra space here to line people up. Sabrina will probably work good on the top. So I'm going to go and drag her straight up. Usually as you drag videos up and down here, tracks up and down, Premiere will keep them in the right, it won't move them side to side, it'll just move them straight up and down, so it keeps them lined up, which is nice, okay. So I'm going to if I double click here and try to double click on Sabrina, it's going to highlight the very top most track, which right now is the frames, the 5 frames. So I'm going to go over here and click on this lock button. So now I can't grab this or move it or adjust it at all. It's locked in place. So now when I double click, it's going to select Sabrina here. I'm going to move her. She might be nice over here on this corner, okay? And I can manually adjust her size a little bit. Okay, about there. Now she disappears. I can't really see her here in this frame because it's just her arm. So I can show her here, but I'm gonna have to drag her down, but I can't put her on top. Okay, I'm gonna just watch a little bit of this, make sure she kind of stays in this frame. Yep, that's good. That frames her nicely, her head, her hand a little bit there. But she hangs down below this, see that? So I need to have another video on top of her. So I'm gonna drag her instead down. In fact, I'll go ahead and drag her down 2 probably. Oh, just 1 is good. Yeah, 2, because I might need to put the space for someone else up here. Okay, so I'm going to lock her in place right there. Lock, okay, I like where she's at. So the next person here is this trombone player, Cameron. I'm going to drag him a little smaller. And if you grab the wrong person by accident, no big deal, just undo it, no problem. Command Z works here just like everywhere else. So he's he would fit in one of these widescreen boxes here, but there's a lot of blank space above him here. So I'm going to maybe put him in one of these squares also. So if I put him here, you see I can put him under Sabrina. I'm going to make him a little bigger. Drag him a little bigger here. We're not going to worry about seeing his whole trombone. We mostly want to see his face. Parents want to see his face. You want to see his face. So I'm going to drag him about like this. There you go. Okay. So I need to put someone else on top of him over here. We should be able to work that out. Okay. So I'm going to lock him in place there. So we have Sabrina and Cameron done, locked in place. Next person up is Allison, the clarinet player. Double click. She's a nice vertical frame. So I'm going to go, no, I got to keep her kind of big here. I'm going to put her over here. I need to put her on top of Cameron, but underneath someone else who's going to be below her. We don't want to see her bottom of her clarinet legs so much. We want to see her face. So I'm going to make her a little bigger. And keep it as big as I can. Move her over here. Now, again, I need to put her on top of Cameron. That's pretty good right there. That'll fit inside the frame. So, leave her there, and I need to put her on top of Cameron. Okay, so I need to unlock Sabrina here, and unlock Cameron, and let's move Sabrina up one for now. You see, Allison is divided into several tracks here, right? So I got to make sure I drag and highlight them all. Drag them all above Cameron. Bam. Okay, so now she's covering up the edge of Cameron. Okay, but we got to cover the bottom of her right there. Okay, and so I'm going to lock her in place now, and Sabrina in place, and Cameron in place. Okay, I'm going to unlock the frame. I got to move it up one more because I got to have two more video spots up here. No big deal right there. Okay, so now I'm hoping Delano's a full screen. Yep, he is. I'm going to drag him and Jonathan. I can drag them both if I want up to the top there. Oop, they move side to side. I don't want that. I'm going to undo that. Okay, I don't want them to. I better drag them one at a time so they don't move side to side at all. Delano and Jonathan. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's. Oh, now Delano is this is a problem. He's vertical also. So I'm going to just lock him for now. I'm going to grab Jonathan down. Put him on top right here. Okay. All right, we're getting good here. And all right. And I'll go this way a little bit. Okay, let's try that for Jonathan. Lock him in place now. Unlock Delano. Drag him back down. Below again to there. Okay. We're going to have to put someone else up here. So Cameron is the only other one who's widescreen. So let me go ahead and unlock him. There's other ways around this, but we'll go ahead and put Cameron down here in this space. And we'll take Delano and we'll fit him in. Oh, we can't make him too small because he'll be side to side too small. So there we go. Okay, I'm up. We're going to see his face playing saxophone right there. There we go. Okay, nice. Oh, wait a second. No, that would be too bad. Okay, all right. I like him right here. Okay, so Cameron needs to be on top of Sabrina now. See that? So I got to move him up higher. Now he's on top of her. And I'm just going to go ahead. So we have a lot of dead space there of the wall, but it's okay. It's the best we can do in this frame here. Okay. Oh, now Delano here. Let me show you how you can adjust with these numbers over here. Okay, I've got him highlighted. Look how he might be a little bit too far to the right. So if I go over here under position, I'm going to move it to the beginning of this clip. Under position, the first number is left to right, and the second number is top to bottom. You can see these numbers are going to move this middle of his picture. See this circle right here? That's the middle. We're going to move that around. So I'm going to move him a little bit to the left right now by taking this number, making it a little smaller. It's 286. I'm going to go 284. And it shifts this over to the left a little bit. So now I know he's under those the black grids there, okay, which is nice. I can also take him and move him up a little bit more. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go here and make this number. This number is how far down the picture is on the frame. So I'm going to move him up to about 70. Oop, maybe too far. Let's go 75. There we go. Let's listen to it and watch it. 2, 3, 4. Everyone's staying nice inside their frame. That's good. Uh-oh, we lost Delano there. No, we lost Delano because Allison went on top of him there. So what we need to do is go down here. I'm gonna unlock. Oh, I see. Remember how Allison, we divided her into a couple different clips here. So what we have to do now is we have to make all these clips. See here, this first clip is in the right place, but when we get to the next clip, she's in her original spot, which is in the middle of the screen. Okay, so it's a pretty easy fix. So I click on this track. What I have to do now is make some keyframes. So I'm going to go to the very beginning of this, and I'm going to click on this one and this one, position and scale. Okay, click on both of those, and it makes keyframes here. They're little diamond shaped things there. I'm going to try to highlight those. There we go, got them. So I selected them. I'm going to go Command Copy. Now you have to make sure that you're actually in this frame, that it has a blue highlight around it, to be able to do Command Copy and Paste. So I copied that. Now I'm just going to go to this next one right here, and I just have to click in. I have to make, so I highlight it here, but over here I have to click in the track at the beginning of the track, and I can go Command Paste now, Command V. Command V makes the paste, and so now that makes that track in the same place as the first one. So now I click here and drag this over here, the beginning of that one, Command Paste. Now that one, that clip is in the same position and scale as the first one. I just have to get this last one here, so I'm going to highlight that, click inside of it over here, go to the beginning of it, bam. Now if I don't do that, if I don't go to the beginning, if I'm here, for example, I go Command Paste, it'll put these little toggle switches here in the middle of the track, and so earlier in the track it may not show up, but I can now drag those, highlight those, drag them to the beginning, and it's fine. It's back to the beginning there. Okay, so let's watch the middle of this. Yep, they all stay in their frame now. Nice. And the only thing I don't like about this right now is that Cameron is kind of big, kind of far away here. I wish I could have zoomed in a little more, had him more like these, but there was too many vertical videos in this situation to do that. So I could look for a different set of 5 boxes. Maybe there's a 5 with a bigger one person here and 4 squares. I don't know. You can check and see what frames are available there. Okay, now I've got some great news that since I first did this project, I learned about something that gives me a lot more power over where to place the different videos in a scene like this. So let me show you that. What we can do is we can crop each video to make it whatever size we want. We can make each video square or whatever dimensions we want. It's really awesome and powerful, and let me show you how to do it. So up here you've got to click on this Effects tab, and it's going to change the whole look of the desktop, so don't worry about that. But we're going to go down here over here to Video Effects, and now instead of searching for it by trying to find the right folder, you can just click in this search box and search for crop. It'll automatically bring it up right here, crop. So what we have to do though is drag this on to each video like this. So I'm dragging onto Delano, and now I can go here back to editing. The series of windows that we're in is editing up here along the top. So, and now if we scroll down, you'll see this new section of tools here called crop. If I click on this little arrow, it'll bring this here, this little slider, and if I drag this over, you'll see here in the Delano's, the left side of this video is now coming over toward the middle, and so we can crop the left side here, or the right, or top or bottom. So I'm going to, for instance, go to bottom, and that's the place where we could have cropped earlier and gotten rid of that. Then we crop it to whatever point we want, say here. Then we can put Delano wherever we want, because this video now is cropped to this shape. So we could now theoretically move them to anywhere on the screen. Now let me go show you another way to do this, and that is if you go to this window and you highlight all of the different people, you can apply this effect to every video clip at the same time. So I'm going to go again up here, and notice it still shows up here. It's the last thing I searched for, crop. So I'm going to drag this effect, and since these are all highlighted, it drops them onto every clip at the same time, which is really convenient. So then I go back to editing. So remember how Cameron here, we had a lot of dead space above him, the ceiling, so I'm going to go to Cameron. You can only edit though one at a time. So I'm going to click on camera alone. You'll see I have the all the tools show up here. So I'm going to crop his top first, bring down the ceiling to about there. Okay, then I can bring the right side in a ways, maybe to there, get rid of that picture behind him, and the left side also crop a little bit. Okay, so now I've cropped him to where I want to see him, and then I can go up near the top. You'll see under scale I can make his video bigger now. Okay, let's make him about there, and then I can double click on him here. Oop, that was the frames. I've got to lock the frames. Now I can double click. Okay, and I can move and see now he's just this shape. It's so awesome. Gives me so much more power. Then I can move him where I want vertically here. And now it doesn't matter if Cameron's on the top or the bottom. His video perfectly fits within this frame. Now I'd like to show you one more really helpful effect. And Adobe Premiere Pro has so many different video effects and stuff. I'm going to search here though for contrast. Okay. Remember how see how Delano here, his video looks a little more faded, kind of weird compared to everybody else. So I'm going to take this, it brings up this effect, brightness and contrast. I'm going to drag that on top of Delano here. Okay. I have to go back here to editing, and so now this brightness and contrast here appears. I'm going to start by just dragging the contrast up higher. Ooh, and see what happens to this video here? It looked kind of gray, kind of weird, so but with a higher contrast, now the brights are brighter, the darks are darker. Now he looks a lot more like everybody else. Now I can increase the brightness also. That's not quite right, or decrease the brightness a little bit. You know, you can toy with these until you get him looking more similar to others. Let me go ahead and show you quickly also some of the color effects. So I'm going to type in here color, and I'm going to go down to Lumetri color. Drag that onto Delano. Okay, go to the editing workspace. These are called different workspaces up here. And down to here. Okay, so over here under Lumetri color, I go to basic correction. Down here at the very bottom of basic, there's a saturation feature. So I'm going to increase the saturation. You can see what that does. Makes all the colors more bright, more deep, more saturated, okay? Or I can do less saturation. In this case, I think the change in contrast made him too saturated. So I'm going to lower his saturation level a little bit to about maybe 80%. Okay, so that's just the introduction to some of the different effects you can do to change the color and brightness and contrast. Now I'd like to show you how to add graphics now into these virtual band videos. And there is a way in Adobe to do titles. You can create great titles right here within Adobe, but I'm not an expert on that, and so you can search for a different tutorial on how to add titles in Adobe Premiere. But I prefer to use Photoshop to do titles and graphics. I'm going to go to Photoshop here, and I have here a file that is the same pixel size as a widescreen video, 1920 by 1080. Okay, and this is where I've created the different grids or frames that I'm making available as a part of this whole package that you can get on stepwisepublications.com. For instance, here's the 3, here's some 4s, like that, like that. But let me just show you now how to create a basic title. So I'm going to click here on the title tool, click in the middle, and I will say you'll be in my heart. Okay, now if I click over here, I've got a black background so you can see the title. I want to do it in white, so I'm going to re-click in here, and now I can go up here to the size. I can go 36. Now, there's a great keyboard shortcut. It's Command Shift, and then I think they're called carets. Maybe it's the less than and the greater than symbol. So if I click Command Shift and then the less than symbol, it makes the font smaller. If I hold down Command Shift and click the greater than, it makes the font bigger. So I use that shortcut all the time. So this is the size I want. I can change the font, of course, up here. I can go to Arial is a common font to use, basic font. Use Arial Black as a really bold sort of font, but you choose any font you want. I'm going to go ahead and go back to this Edo font I really like. I'm going to click here and center it like that. Okay, or maybe I want to drag it. Maybe I want it at the bottom of the frame. It might be good there. Okay, so I'm going to click off this black frame underneath it because I want to save this as just the font with the rest of the screen totally blank or clear. Okay, so I'm going to save this now. Command-Shift-S is the shortcut for that. And I'll just save it in my Downloads folder, and I'll call it Heart Title. Now it's very important here that the format you save it as is a PNG file. PNG file allows you to save things with clear opacity. So anything that doesn't have actual pixels in it will be saved clear. Okay, so I'll save it as that type. Click OK there. Now I'm going to go back to Adobe Premiere. I'm going to click on my Finder window, and here's my downloads. Okay, and there it is, Heart Title PNG right there. So I'm going to grab that and drag it down onto my. Let me try that again. Grab it, drag it down here, and it shows up. So now I can drag this here wherever I want. I'm going to drag it after all these, but now I'm going to drag it up above the frames and drag it over. And so now it shows up here. And I can, maybe I only want to show it for this long, so I can play it.
One, two, three,
Oops, that's not the right place. So let me move it over to back here.
4.
I'll make it a little longer here like this. There we go. Nice. Okay, so I can also have it fade in or fade out. So let me show you that quickly. I've got this highlighted, I go up here to the editing controls, and under opacity, see how I'm about maybe 20% into it right here. I'm going to click on opacity. I'm going to click on this little stopwatch thing to toggle the animation, and that brings up this diamond. So it's 100% now. I go drag back to the beginning, click this, change it to 0%. Bam. So now what happens is it'll go from 0% to 100% over this space of time. So if I click on play, you'll see that it fades in. Yeah, nice. And I can also do the same thing. I'm going to click this little toggle switch to there, and then go to the end of it and make it 0% there. So now it will fade from full opacity to 0 opacity over that space of time, and it fades real nicely. And so you can do the same kind of thing with any kind of graphic that you create in Photoshop. For instance, here I've got this little Harry Potter graphic that I put in one of my videos. So you could save that as a PNG file, and then you can move it wherever you want. Here, for example, I made a title frame. See, I've got the text, the fonts here. I've got this Darth Maul image that I put inside of a window, and this is going to be the video thumbnail for one of my YouTube videos I made. So you can create all kinds of images or texts here in Photoshop and drag them into your Premiere project. I love it. Now you see this as I'm watching this. There's some video lag here. The videos aren't keeping up. That's just because my computer doesn't have a fast enough processor to actually calculate every single frame, and so it does some lag on these. But don't worry, when you export this, it'll be perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and export this now. Under File, Export, Media. Okay, first thing to do is to pick the name here. It's going to use the name of the first track I dragged in, which is Jonathan. I'm going to double click on that. Double click, so I can change the name of it. Which, if I click here, it's going to choose that name. I don't want Pirates 3, I want Heart 1, but that's just a quick way to get the right kind of title. Heart 1. Okay, so I've named it Heart 1, and now it's got right here, it's matched the source of Jonathan, which is kind of small. You don't have to worry about this necessarily, but I want it to be big, so I'm going to double this. 320. Right now this is highlighted, so it's going to keep the width and height even. So I'm going to take this 320 and make it 640. A little higher quality video for all of them, okay? So I've done that, and I'm going to export. And it's going to take some time and export all these to a nice, beautiful video file of this scene. So now we get to the really fun part where we take all the different scenes, and in this case I'm creating a mashup of different little scenes that my students have each performed or recorded, and put them all into one video now. So I've started this new project in Premiere, and you can see here I have this scene and then that scene, and here's the one we were working on. You'll be on my heart part 1. You'll see then that the scene I brought in is the video here and then the audio here exported together as one file. Now this green one here is a different track. Let me solo that. You can hear this is just the accompaniment track. Just sounds like that. That's an accompaniment that came with this series. It's a book called Film Favorites by Hal Leonard, and that's where I got all these different movie themes from. And so that's the accompaniment part. And then here, if I solo this file, that's just the sound of the 5 musicians that I blended together earlier. Okay, so together we get this sound. Nice. So what I've done then is I put all these different scenes together from beginning to end. I think here I probably added, yep, there's a title there at the beginning that I put in there. I probably faded it in, yep. At the very end, let me play this end for you. I thought it was fun to leave each one clicking out one at a time at the very end of this mashup. And there's our band t-shirt for the year with a little music added and our logo. Well, now you've seen everything I know about how to create a great virtual band video. If you'd like to take advantage of my complete package for how to create a virtual band, you can go to stepwisepublications.com, click on the store. There you'll find a product that has not only these 4 videos, but also some PDF documentation to help guide you step by step through the process, and dozens and dozens of the frames to help you organize your student videos into different configurations on the screen. I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with the other things that I've produced on this channel, and I wish you all the best.